everyone, it's Danielle at Great Lakes Aquarium, and today we are outside the aquarium with a fun project that you can try at home. We have made a rock library. Now what's really neat about this project is, although we did a rock library today, you could do it with any sort of nature item you want that you find all around. Maybe you would even want to make one with cool pine cones that you find, or maybe cool leaves that you found on the ground. There's so many things that you can make a fun library for. And libraries are a great way to keep a collection in a small, compact place, but an easy way to show all of your friends and family what you found. So, let's explore into our rock library and see what we have in here, and also look at how we even made it. Because it's a pretty simple craft that I think a lot of you might like to try. So, as we come on over, we have used a shoebox. That's all it is, and then a couple extra pieces of cardboard. And we took off one part of the shoebox, but kept it so that way it can open up. So now we have our library. And Abby and I here have put in some of our favorite rocks that we have found here in northern Minnesota, but also on our adventures all everywhere else. So we have things like the rocks that we find here, like granite, something pretty common. I'll give you a look. Whoa. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. We also brought our magnifying glass so that way we can look really closely at the rocks that we brought. So we really like that one. Of course, being here on the shores of Lake Superior, we have the Lake Superior agate. You can see that one right there. Some nice banding. And agates actually have a really cool story, which is pretty fitting for a library. And all of these bands are different times that these minerals came out of water and settled into the rock. So it starts with a hole, and I think we actually have a rock in here that will help us tell the story too. We have some basalt, but it has some rock in the middle. This is the start of how an agate would look. So the basalt has holes in it. So you can kind of see that hole in there. And over time, water would run over that and dissipate or let those minerals out, and it fills in the holes like you see here. But with agates, it fills in over and over, and different minerals are deposited, and so we see that banding look. Now they're pretty unique to the Lake Superior region because a lot of that orange or that red, that's a lot of iron. And that's something we definitely have a lot here in northern Minnesota. So that's what makes the Lake Superior agate so special here in northern Minnesota. You can't really find any more like it anywhere else in the world. You can find agates, but not like what we have here. What else do we have in here? We have some rhyolite. So another really common rock you can find on the North Shore. Some of my favorite big cliffs to climb safely with rock climbing equipment, of course. But some of my favorite cliffs are made of rhyolite. They're the really massive ones as you go up the North Shore. And like I said, we have that basalt. And then we have some rocks that we didn't find around here. So these are between me and Abby in our collections. Abby found this super cool sandstone. You can see the banding, so all the sediment pressing down into a rock. That's really nice rock. Abby, where did you find this one again?
Found this in southern Utah.
Southern Utah, so a little bit far away from here. You can find some sandstone in Minnesota as well, especially in like central Minnesota. That's a good place to find a little bit. So, something you find here. This is a really nice example of one. We also have my favorite rock in my collection. This is a gastrolith. Now, it's not the exact type of rock it is, but it tells a lot about its story. So again, telling stories out of our rock library. A gastrolith is a rock that was in a dinosaur's gizzard. That's right, inside the dinosaur. Just like how chickens scoop up gravel and have that to help break down their food, dinosaurs did the same thing. So these rocks were in that gizzard, and then when the dinosaur started to break down after it died, and its bones were calcified and everything like that, and turned into fossils, these rocks were left behind. So they're nice and smooth from being inside that gizzard, rolling around with all the rest of the rocks. So I thought it'd be a good rock to have in our library. Another one we have is some petrified wood. So you can find this in all parts of the southern United States, kind of that western area. So this is a piece of an old tree back in the times that the dinosaurs were around, or around there at least, give or take maybe a couple million years, which in geologic terms isn't too much. So we have some petrified wood. Now this next one is a really cool one and has a really neat story as well. And Abby brought this one. This, my friends, I'm gonna build some suspense.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Is a dinosaur bone.
Whoa.
Right? Abby even knew it and she was surprised. So this is an actual dinosaur bone. Now, it doesn't look like the bones you see in a museum or anything like that, but we can tell it is a dinosaur bone based on its color, based on where it's found, and based on some of this. It's kind of hard to see just through a phone, but there's some lines in there that you can see remnants of what a bone would have looked like. So when you find dinosaur bones, it's not just like finding a bone like your dog might have, right? Instead, it's what the bone was, but then as some of that organic stuff breaks down, it's replaced in that same exact shape with rock. So fossils are rocks, which is pretty neat. It makes it super fitting to go in our rock library. So it is possible to find dinosaur bones out there. I know I've found them just hiking along rivers in Wyoming. Abby, do you remember where this one was from?
This one is also from Utah.
From Utah, awesome. Yeah, so it's pretty special rock to have. All right, and then...
Do you remember the name for this one?
I do remember the name of this one. This is another one that Abby got. You see all these beautiful colors. This is chalcedony.
Calcopyrite.
Calcopyrite. Oh no, I got it wrong.
Chalcopyrite, I'm sorry.
Calcopyrite. Well done, Abby. So see, we can learn a lot with these rock libraries. Calcopyrite has this beautiful look just like this. And it just makes it fun to like tell the stories of where these rocks are from, where you found them, why you like them. I know this one reminds me a little
shiny.
bit. It's shiny. Yeah,
That's why I like it.
It's shiny. Kind of, I mean, I think of a peacock.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely look like a peacock.
I think they're also called peacock gems.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, peacock ore. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so there's so much to learn by having a rock library and sharing it with your friends and family. It was fun just me and Abby sitting around picking out which rocks we wanted to put in here. And then we can close it up for another day of sharing with other people. Just like that. And so like I said, you could do all sorts of nature items. I'll show you again a little bit of what the box looks like. So it's just the shoebox opening up. We use tape to support other bits of cardboard to make the shelves like this. So that way it could hold all the rocks. Because I mean, rocks aren't light. They're kind of heavy. But don't take them for granted.
Nice joke, Dee.
Thank you. Thank you. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really rocks. That was a cheap one. That was a very cheap one.
Still respect it.
Thank you. But, so again, we use tape to support. We used a pretty thick tape. You could use duct tape or anything like that. You could even paint your box, all sorts of colors. We kept it the colors of the box. We have this really nice, like, colored box to begin with. These were from my diving boots. But if you wanted to paint it or anything.
You can use stickers.
Oh, stickers, tape. Paint.
Glitter glue.
Paint. Ooh, glitter.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the calcopyrite.
Yeah, except all over the box.
You can make a calcopyrite rock library.
Yes. Perfect.
That'd be pretty neat.
That's the dream.
Yeah. So that's our rock library. Again, use it however you think would be really cool, but it's a great way to share these stories with friends and family. Maybe you have it just on the sidewalk and people walking their dogs can learn something too. All sorts of great ways you can use it. The rest of this week, all of our videos are going to be more DIY projects that you can do at home. So definitely tune in on Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock to find out what else we're mixing up today here at the aquarium. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for all the support we get by watching these videos, by sending in donations, and by visiting the aquarium because we are open 10 to 6. Definitely come on by, bring your mask. There's all sorts of great things to come and see. You can even check out our rock library on exhibit, not this one unfortunately, but another really cool one that's on exhibit up in our Origins exhibit. So you can come learn some more stories about what the rocks can tell us. But with that, thanks again for watching. I'll see you later.